In the upper left, back from the military, representing Alpha X, we have Classic.
And spawn here at the bottom right, we have our red Protoss player playing and representing the team of Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Hero.
So the interesting thing in PvP is that I believe that the switch to one gate openings has been relatively recent, i.e. it's happened after Classic and Hero left for the military, and it looks like both of them might be looking to do those openings based on how quickly they're sending those scouts out, or maybe that's just a more recent development that has happened because knowing whether the opponent's going for one or two gates is important. What do you think? Why do people send out these scouts? Is that for one gate builds, or do people send out these scouts this early with a two gate build now?
I think I mean, on this map of Light Shade, I think you could kind of delay your scout, but I guess both of these players are kind of used to scouting off of that one gate. And yeah, it is true that, you know, the one gate opening is prevalent, but it's only on certain maps. There are certain maps that does, you know, cater towards a one base opening, or at least at the very least you can get away with one base or not one base, one gate opening. But there are certain maps that also you can't really get away with one gate opening, so pretty interested to see. It looks like both of them are going for two gate actually.
What makes the difference there? Is it the ramp at the natural? Is there other factors?
Yeah, basically the ramp up the natural. As you can see here, the natural, the ramp is actually on the even ground, so it makes it harder kind of to go for the one gate instead of the two gate. So both players just playing it safe right now.
Makes sense to me, and I guess people send out those earlier scouts because before, back when I was playing more regularly, everyone went two gates, so it didn't really matter what the opponent did unless they were proxying, until those first two units came out of the gateways, whereas now, knowing whether they're going for a one gate expand or a two gate expand matters, so that gateway scout gets more important information.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with the earlier scout, you can see or can tell whether the Protoss is kind of proxying based off maybe their second pylon timing, or maybe whether they're going again one gate or two gate there. And then
so we see our first deviation as well.
Looks like
Stargate for Classic, more Stalkers and a slightly faster Stalkers and slightly faster Nexus from Hero. It looks like they're both producing the same amount of Stalkers, or the same amount of units, even if one's building more sentries, which is Classic. With that shield battery there, we're good. Twilight Council from Hero.
Yeah, and I believe he plotted down that Twilight Council before scouting or having a sense of what Classic is going for. So he's just based off of a blind build order. I think he's got the advantage.
A bit of damage in before the shield battery is done. He gets a Stalker. Looks like he's going to continue to try and take pot shots, take away some of that energy. But now with the shield battery here, Hero forced to back off a bit, continuing to attack and get aggressive though, while the Oracle goes across the map for Classic. And Classic is actually forced to build a second shield battery from this, so good pressure. Hero doesn't really lose anything, loses some hull damage on a couple of Stalkers, but that's it.
Yeah,
and it distracts him as this Oracle comes in.
Yeah, there's really nothing here to defend against this Oracle.
There are only two probes here, but, well, there's another couple of probes coming in, actually. And actually, there's nothing left at home either. This is just going to keep getting more and more damage done, but in the meantime, there is a huge amount of Stalkers being warped in by a Hero, and he's actually making a gate on the western side of the map, and he looks to want to finish this right here, right now. And he's got so many Stalkers that he can actually two-shot these Stalkers even through a shield battery, because they deal hull damage in one big, massive blast. So it looks like, economically, Hero has been crippled by this Oracle, but he's trying to win this game right now, so it doesn't matter. Once Blink is done, it's going to be even more devastating. The Oracle comes back in, finally does go down. Wait, no, that was a hallucinated Oracle. The other one has 11 kills and is still alive. But now, all of a sudden, Classic has almost the same amount of forces as Hero does. And 17 more probes.
That is absolutely devastating. 17 more probes before the 5-minute mark as well. It's like, oh man, it's pretty much this is his last hurrah here. If he does not get anything done with these stalkers, it's pretty much over.
That's right. Hero's one chance is right here, right now, with Blink, which is about to finish, and it finishes right now. So he's going to use Blink versus non-Blink to try and take this. And the shield batteries are doing some work, but he is losing some stalkers, whereas Hero is continuing to blink back his own. But he still has not forced the overcharge, and that overcharge will make so much of a difference in the overall fight when it comes.
Oh, a little bit.
I think with this, Classic is just going to be untouchable. He's got the same amount of stalkers as Hero does at this point.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to one snipe. Okay, now he's finally being able to one snipe these stalkers, but still, there are so much shield batteries here. I'm not quite sure this is enough here for Hero.
Yep, GG is called. Hero believes the same thing. He's used up the shield battery energy, but there is another shield battery, and the overcharge was never actually used. And Classic, with some excellent play, fends off aggression from Hero and uses the Oracle to just eviscerate the economy back at home.
Spawning here at the bottom left, he's our red Protoss. Looking to tie up the score. Can he do it? Give it up for Hero.
And in the top right, with an excellent defense in game number 1, looking to get an even bigger advantage in the series in game number 2 and bring it to a very early match point, we have Alpha X's Classic. So do you reckon we'll see another 2-gate opening in this map because of the lack of the ramp at the natural, Snoopy?
Yeah, I think there's pretty much a map that is kind of similar in terms of the natural layout. So yeah, I fully expect both of these players to open up with a 2-gate here, and it seems like at least, yep, there we go.
You are indeed correct. That is exactly what's happening. We may see 1-gate openings later on, and I will be interested to see how both sides handle that, since again, this 2-gate thing is the thing that they are very well known for, because it's the thing that has been done in PvP for years and years. And it looks like Classic wants to throw down a proxy all the way up here in the top left of the map.
Ooh. I mean, this is quite a large map, so hiding tech out here in the middle of nowhere is actually pretty common on this map.
Yeah. What do you think he could be doing with it? Do you think this is going to be a Stargate, or do you think he's going to put down something else?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It's usually a Stargate. If it was a robot, I think it would have been probably be a bit closer. And then maybe it could very well be also a Twilight Council into Dark Shrine. But look at there, looks like it is going to be Stargate.
Yeah, I was thinking Dark Shrine was the other possibility, but I think that if I were going to do that, I would put the Twilight Council in the main base, and then I would put the Dark Shrine somewhere more hidden so that my opponent's expecting Blink.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know that your opponent's expecting something. So Classic actually puts down a shield battery in his own wall to prevent this probe getting out alive. I guess he doesn't want his opponent to know if he's expanding this early or not. And he does cancel that shield battery now, but that means that the probe will actually get out. I mean, it won't survive, but it will notice the lack of expansion. It sees the probe coming in now. And we have a couple of adepts for Hero that are looking to... We'll see if they want to move out and do some damage. They seem to be waiting for something. Maybe they're waiting for that probe. I guess they're just... Oh, he's waiting for 4-6 adepts. He's going Phoenix Adept. He's going to try and get a lot of pressure on very quickly. Phoenix, a good response to the Oracle, but only if the Phoenix is in position. If he sends the Phoenix directly across the map, but he's actually sending it out to intercept the most likely proxy. Oh my god, this is amazing by Hero. He's so good. But he's not... Classic's waiting for 2. Hero knows when the Oracle's going to arrive if there's one Oracle, is reacting to that, but that's not what's going on. This is an amazing, just layered set of mind games going on here between these two players. Both players predicting each other so well, but not... They're predicting the possible timing so well, but not actually predicting each other's actions. And we're going to have 2 Oracles coming in, stacked from Classic. But there are 3 Phoenixes here now, so this is not going to do much damage at all. Well, look at that. They're going to take so much damage so fast. And as soon as one Oracle goes down, Hero needs to focus fire that, actually. Because if he'd taken down one very quickly, that would have meant that the shield battery would have protected everything else. And as it is, Hero has 6 adepts, but they're not able to get in and do anything. So, big advantage for Classic. 2 bases to 1 and up 7 probes. As long as he can save himself from these Phoenixes and the adepts, he should do quite well.
Yeah, I mean, because adepts don't really do a lot of hull damage, this Nexus will be able to survive, but the Phoenixes will go ahead and try to be sneaky and come back through the backside.
Even the waves will eventually take away the rocks, Snoopy, and this Nexus is actually getting very, very low. Hero is going to force Classic to make a move, and he has to make this move now if he wants to keep this Nexus alive. And now here come the Phoenixes when those Stalkers are forced to come down, and actually he's going to lose that Nexus.
Oh,
and
man.
now the probe count is equalizing. Oh, Classic tried to save his Nexus and did not succeed, and thus he ended up losing on both fronts. And now all of a sudden the game is roughly even out again, as a Robo is coming up for Hero. Blink on the way for Classic as well, so we're going to be on 1 base for a while.
Yeah.
And we have oh, look at this Nexus in the bottom right-hand corner of the map from Hero. What is this?
Oh my goodness.
This is sneaky.
This is like some
What a game this
is like some SOS kind of strategy or something.
Yes, it is. And in the meantime, Classic is coming across the map with a whole bunch of Stalkers, and Hero has a whole bunch of not much to stop it. No shield batteries. But he is getting an Immortal though, and this Immortal with the Sentry should be able to hold between Force Fields and Immortal damage. There's basically nothing these Stalkers could do. In fact, he could pick off a couple of Stalkers pretty much for free if Classic micros even a little bit. So Hero is absolutely not going to die here. But a couple of Adepts actually getting into the main base and doing some significant economic damage. A little bit unsynced up, but still gets a whole bunch of probes, and we'll even get one of these Adepts out alive. And will he get one more probe if he sees that one? Not quite. But Hero seems to have quite the advantage now. There's a whole bunch of, again, Stalkers on the bottom for Classic, but with 3 Immortals, Hero can just walk down that ramp and force the Stalkers to run away anytime he pleases. And Hero's actually going to spot this Stargate now. Not that that means a whole lot, since Classic's not going to be producing any more out of it. Phoenixes will kill anything that comes out of it, and he's already 4 Phoenixes ahead, so Classic will never try and catch up in that count. In the meantime, Hero is starting to mine from this natural expansion, and Classic has no idea. Classic thinks it's 1 base to 1 base, he's at least got the contain going, he's going to force a Warp Prism to be made. And Hero is just happily not building the Warp Prism because he knows he's not actually contained at all. Now that Classic is actually taking his expansion, I think that Hero is going to want to build that Warp Prism next and try and bust down the ramp and take his quote-unquote natural wink-wink.
Yeah.
As he takes Blink. And Glaives for Classic.
Oh, interesting. I guess he would just want to go for a 2-base timing push. You know, actually, as I think about it, I think Hero can actually recall his Phoenixes and just like lift up the Sentry. He wouldn't even need to make a Warp Prism, but I think it will be his best interest to do so because he is looking to prepare for an attack, so you might want to have a closer reinforcement point.
Yeah, you're right, he could do that, but I think that, like, until this natural is complete by Classic, Hero makes no benefit by breaking the contain, because if he breaks the contain, Classic knows he's going to expand, whereas he thinks his opponent's on 1 base right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Allowing the contain to continue actually plays directly into Hero's plan. Classic thinks that he's behind slightly economically, but he's actually behind hugely. Hero has played this out incredibly well.
Yeah, he's in a great situation to tie up the series, but of course he does have to give the finishing blow. There's still a lot of Sentry here for Classic, so maybe some nice Force Field, some nice Blink micro, or actually not Blink micro. Wait, does he have Blink? Oh, he does have Blink. Yeah, so maybe some nice Blink micro. And funnily enough, we have ourselves a. Oh, actually, hold that thought. There was a move out here from Hero. 3 Immortals. That is going to add so much firepower for our red Protoss.
3 Immortals, some Blink Stalkers, and a few Phoenixes. I think once this and he's got like 7 or 8 gates now, so I think once that warp prism is completed, he's just going to make a bigger warp in at the front and then just go. He might even just go before then, at least take away some of the shield battery energy, try and force the overcharge out. But I think he's going to wait for this warp prism before he really commits. Bunch of adept starting to be made with glaives for classic, but I don't think even that is going to fend off an attack like this, as Hero goes into disruptors in case this doesn't work. Continuing to posture with the Phoenixes in the main base, force units back, but now he is going to start moving forward as he has this Warp Prism to reinforce whenever he needs.
Oh,
this.
Alright, Phoenix trying to do some nice harass here on the backside. Looks like Hero looked to somewhat commit, but fortunately will stall that out.
Yeah, very good force fields. Thing is that time is very much still on Hero's side. Hero is taking his third base now, and he's got Classic contained once again. Well, actually, Hero's got Classic contained for the first time. Classic had Hero contained before. As long as Classic can't take a Nexus, and as long as he's stuck on so few probes, there's really nothing that Classic can do to threaten Hero, and Hero can just continue to extend his lead more and more. Start getting into those disruptors. Ooh, actually saves that Stargate, so Hero's going to send his whole army over to kill it.
Yeah, it's going to actually be really important to shut down the Stargate because Hero is transitioning into disruptors, and without any Stargate tech coming from Classic, you won't be able to really counter the disruptors. Can't have anything to lift them up, and he's going to have to rely on his blink to snipe them down, but it's really risky for him to do so.
Yeah, that is true, and also Hero already has 4 Phoenixes of his own. But I suppose that if the Phoenixes are going to lift up the disruptors, then it doesn't matter if they die to the opponent's Phoenixes as long as they do their job first, but preventing the Stargate from building anything at all means that you won't have any lift, period. Right, and it looks like this might be Hero's time to go for this attack.
Yeah, I mean,
he's looking for a good position, he's just going to strike, or maybe he'll wait for Classic to try and take a third base and then just glump on it.
Oh, this is not looking good. The Hero is up 30 or so army supply, and here comes the disruptors.
Disruptor just burns everything. Some desperate hallucinations come in from Classic. Hero says 2 can play at that game, creates some hallucinated colossi on high. The Phoenixes come in as well. The overcharge comes down, but it's just not enough. Another disruptor shot comes in, and there is just way too much for Hero here. GG is called, and Hero, with an amazing well-played game number 2, ties up the series. Here we go. In the bottom left, just tying the series up with a hidden expansion. What will he do this time? It is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Hero.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map is the blue Protoss player looking to slay down the Hero. Can he do it? It is Classic.
I like these cables going to the guests.
Oh man.
I guess they must be like power cables, right? Because they can't be just gas cables, or you wouldn't even need probes.
Ah, yeah. And one of them is like lightly shaded, while the other one is more darkly shaded. Oh wait, actually maybe... No, actually the bottom one is... Both of them are lightly shaded.
Yeah, they look pretty much the same to me. I think it might just be the lighting that's affecting it, like the shadow of the first cable onto the second cable.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Makes it seem like it's coming out of the Nexus and into these gases to power them up. Of course, that's a bit weird for Protoss who use pylons to power their stuff, but hey, maybe they're trying something new.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to see 2-gate openings, because, well, again, we do see the non-ramped natural, and it looks like both sides are preferring maps of this caliber, maps of this type.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in a PvP and mirror matchup, I don't think map plays as much as an important part. Maybe if it does cater to one player's playstyle, I think, okay, then it will probably have an effect. But because they play the same race, I think map choices aren't as important as compared to like maybe a PvZ or a PvT.
in a way, I think that in a way that they're less important, but they're also almost in a way more important. Because in PvT or PvZ, the map choices are often relatively straightforward. You pick the maps that's good for your race and bad for the opponent's race. But in a mirror matchup, the maps tell a story of what style you want to play and what style you want your opponent to avoid. So it's less important in terms of the overall impact, but it's more important to pay attention to, I feel. And I think that the story of these maps is that both sides do prefer that 2-gate opening, which makes a lot of sense. But they're also not afraid of letting the opponent do that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses. And we have a fairly aggressive proxy Stargate from Hero this time. It's going to be much closer to Classic's base than Classic's proxy Stargate was to Hero's. And we'll see if Classic is prepared for this. He is making a shield battery, but he's making it as natural. And we'll see if he gets those Stalkers in position in time. Because the Stargate is finishing and the Oracle's going to get chrono boosted and sent directly to the enemy mineral line.
Oh boy, this can get ugly very, very soon here, as no shield battery in the main base, and all the Stalkers here are trying to defend at the natural. They're probably going to stick around for a while because they don't
Classic knows. He's got to know something's up. He knows he's got to know there's a proxy at this point, but it looks like he's keeping his... Hero's sending his Stalkers out so that Classic will think that there's pressure coming in, but really this is just a distraction from the real attack, as here we go. Oh man. Classic running away all of his probes, losing so much mining time, gets hit with 5 kills from that Oracle, 6 kills from the Oracle, and actually the Oracle is going to get taken out, so at least there is that. That could have been so much worse. So, another Oracle on its way, 2 more Stalkers being made, and 6 Stalkers and an Oracle are going to go after the opponent. But this time there are units here to defend with that Oracle. Only 1 more kill will be achieved, and Classic will send the opponent back.
Oh.
But still has more and more Stalkers. I think he gets the second Oracle, yeah. A bit of an issue from Hero with his Oracle control, and that's going to allow Classic to stabilize. He is going to be slightly behind, but overall not in a terrible position at all. 2 Adepts coming in from Hero, and Hero's going to stop building Oracles from him, which I think makes sense. I think that's a good move. Good force fields go down, and recall forces the Stalkers away, and I think that's going to be the end of this particular attack. The Adepts will come in and see what else they can get done in terms of harassment, and it will be a reasonable amount because there's only 2 Stalkers here to stop them. But the attack itself is done.
Yeah, I'm sure Hero probably wanted a bit more than that. Or at the very least, he probably wanted to really save those Oracles. I think if the Oracles were alive right now, I would say advantage Hero. But with the Oracles, both of them dead, I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking like, Classic, he's quite behind in the worker count, but his tech is a lot further along, I think.
I don't see his tech really actually being further along. Blink is about the same level for both players, maybe about 10 to 15 seconds faster for Classic overall. So I think that Hero's actually done enough damage that he's successfully caught up and gotten a slight lead. Like that 4-worker lead, and everything else is all relatively the same between the players. That said, 4 workers, not the biggest deal. Game is still very much open, but I think that, yeah, Hero would have liked to keep those Oracles alive, and if he could, he'd be in a much better position, but I don't think he's in a bad position now, even after all of that happened.
Yeah, actually, on second look, it looks like, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the blink timing is relatively similar, as well as the probe count. So, yeah, I think Hero, in the end, did manage to find enough damage to stay at least even, or at least a little bit ahead.
It looks like Hero wants to go out for an attack. Classic is getting a 3rd, he's getting a 4th, he's getting more tech. Hero's getting none of those things, instead getting a gateway and a pylon right outside his opponent's 3rd. So he's going to look to build a whole bunch of basic Blink Stalkers and try and kill his opponent before the rest of that tech comes online, or at least deny this 3rd base as he takes the 3rd base of his own. Both sides have Blink now. And, oh, look at those blinks, that is blinking... Classic blinking back as the firing comes in to prevent that damage from occurring at all. But Hero does have more, and the shield battery is not quite yet done. Immortal is in play for Classic, but remember, Hero's control, at least before he left for the military, was second to none when it comes to Blink Stalkers.
Looks like Hero trying to kind of circumvent to the other side.
Ooh, he's trying to get that shield battery. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit from two sides at once. It's really good. Good force field. Oh, he even catches that Stalker for free as well. Good splitting of his army by Classic. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That is a very, very aggressive move right here. And I think it does actually pay off for Classic in the end. He loses both Immortals though, so actually maybe that did work out well for Hero.
Yeah,
this is pretty close actually. I think that Hero might have a good attack coming in.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised. I thought that was actually quite risky, but Hero with his superior micro, it seems like, might be able to pull this off.
Second aggressive blink though.
Oh.
I guess the numbers are just in Hero's favor. Can he do it? Not quite. Oh, beautiful blink from Classic. Body blocking for that Immortal. And the Immortal finally goes down, but enough damage has been dealt that Classic stabilizes, stays alive. 5 more Stalkers being created by Hero, and even a couple of Zealots as he's gonna have charge as well. This is not over.
Oh yeah, that charge might actually be the wild card here.
The blink forward again and again forces the overcharge and gatches out this Immortal. Oh my god. Hero is a madman. Like, Blink is just to get into the fight faster. I don't micro with Blink while I'm fighting the enemy. That's not what it's for. You guys have just gotten this wrong for the last 12 years.
Oh my god, another Blink forward.
Blink forward every time, and this time he can one-shot the Stalkers. The shield batteries mean nothing. The advantage in numbers is overwhelmingly in favor of Hero over here. And I think Hero might be breaking through.
It would seem so. He's pulling ahead in the overall supply. Now, Classic does have the +1 upgrade, but I mean, the numbers are there here for Hero.
He doesn't have any units to use it, and that's it. GG Hero just blinks forward again and again and manages to make it work. Right, this time we are seeing the same scout from Classic, but not from Hero this time. Hero electing to keep his probe back.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of an adaptation, knowing that throughout the series there hasn't really been too much like cannon rush or like proxy gateways or anything. So he's like, okay, maybe I could delay this the scout just a little bit, get that extra little bit of mining, and then go ahead and scout, and shouldn't be a problem.
This is interesting. Can this ramp with Hero, can that be blocked off by a pylon? I think it can, right?
Actually, I'm not quite sure.
It looks like it might be 3 hexes, actually. I would have thought that he would have put the gateway in that position and then wall off the place where the gateway is building now.
Yeah, I don't think this is actually a blockable. Oh, actually, you know what? It could be blockable with a cybernetical or a gateway, so maybe that could be a possibility. But if you kind of have to make those gateways or cybernetic core over and over and then cancel them, they're a bit more expensive.
Yeah, it does add up in cost. Why do you think that Hero is elected for this building position?
You know, as a Protoss player, there are sometimes those moments where you building placement is not your it's not on point on a certain game, and you kind of misplaced. This might just be a little bit of an accidental mistake.
Maybe. I'm wondering if he's actually trying to bait Classic into building adepts to try and punish this error.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out because apparently Classic is on 1 gate. I think it will be more prevalent if it was on 2 gate. And Kira does scout this with his scouting probe, so he knows what's up.
Yeah. So it is going to be a continuous adepts and stalkers as the tech of choice from Hero, as he's going to try and economically disrupt the engine of Classic. If Classic gets away without losing more than a probe or 2, he's going to be in great shape because he's got a much faster Nexus than his opponent. So let's see how Hero goes. Looks like Hero's just scouting around and waiting for a critical mass of adepts before he starts doing anything. Worth noting, usually when you got adepts, the best defense against them is to simply wall them off from the main. In this case, that's not going to be a perfect defense anymore because there's a whole bunch of vulnerable probes at that natural 2 and only a shield battery to protect them, which does not work against 2 adepts.
Well, looks like the first Oracle is about to pop out. Looks like it's just popping out. I'm gonna try to sync up a little bit with these adepts. Oh, actually, oh.
Trying to send the adepts to the main, but does cancel them. The interesting thing is the natural is actually fully exposed right now, and that's what he could go after instead. He could even get this sentry, and he does.
Yeah.
And now he's just gonna go after these probes, it looks like. Yes, he does. And oh, these probes. Oh, that adept! Did you see that? Did you see that, Snoopy? One of the adepts blocked off the shield battery gap between that and the mineral line, while the other 3 went into the mineral line itself to stop the probes getting away. That's amazing. How did he do that? It's so brilliant. And now he's gotten 9 kills with the Oracle as well, and suddenly, well, Duo's ahead. He's got his Nexus, he's up 5 probes, and he's not stopping. That move was incredible. I can't believe he did that. And now he's just going to land right on top of everything and just start slaughtering these probes and then get out anyway, because adepts, while they can't beat stalkers in a straight up fight, they do take a long time to lose one. And here we go, even more damage into the main base, and Classic is just not going to have any workers left, and I think Hero might be about to take this series 3-1.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit unfortunate for Classic, because he's actually down 1-2. So after this pretty much the series is over. He's gonna try his best to stabilize, but I mean, I feel like the damage has already been done.
Oh, it absolutely has. Hero is up to 33 workers. I'd actually like to see him just stop building probes and just focus everything on defense at this point, because, I mean, how else could he lose this game at this point? I mean, I guess Classic only does have 6 stalkers, so yeah, that's it. GG is called. There's just nothing that he can do. Hero, with a dominant opening against the 1-gate expansion of Classic, will take the series.